Hello learners, I am Dr. Subodh Kesharwani, working with Indira Gandhi National Open University in School of Management Studies. The topic which I am going to talk today is IT security measures in business. This is part of our course called BCOS 183 and related to the BCom program, which is choice-based credit system. So what we are going to talk today is about purely talking about the security. I think we all know that there was a time when digitalization was a challenge, when there was a time when there was a paradigm shift from brick and mortar system to click and mortar systems. But with the change of time, the things had been changed very fastly, and security is going to become a very important affair right now. So what we observe that the whole world is talking about how you're going to secure, how you're going to make yourself, because to safeguard the interest of the online penetrations and online the way of doing the business. So when we talk about the business, when we talk about the different aspects, I think the security is very important aspect. And when you're talking about the cybersecurity is something which is a need of an hour. So with the change of time, what we observe that we have to see that how the security is going to taken care in a more important manner. So prior to going into the depth of this topic, as far as the security is concerned, let's throw a light, or rather we can recapitulate what we have done in our preceding lectures. Because when we are talking about security, when we are talking about cyber security or cyber threats or hacking, I think one has to have a knowledge of softwares, computers, or the conversation which we have done in the past, which is related to database management system, which is related to business process and enterprise application. So in our preceding lectures we have talked about how the computer works and what are its application, which is making computers everybody cup of tea, and then the softwares and the system softwares, the application softwares, which were quite important as far as the execution of computer is concerned. Then web application is there. Why we are talking about web application? Because the whole world is right now talking about the web based scenario, and we are doing a lot of businesses, a lot of shopping through online mode, or sometimes crosses the boundaries of one country and do the business from there itself. So what we have observed that when we are talking about the web application, we are talking about the PAN word and the website or the application which is coming up. So this is the model. We have already have a very thought-provoking sessions, and if learners can recapitulate themselves, they can get the archive of these videos, and from there they can get the knowledge of that, and then gradually they can see how this course is going on. So we are talking about the state of art and the latest trends which are going in the computer application as far as the business is concerned, and as far as the whole scenario is concerned. It's not like that, because if you talk about the term called business, I think business, the definition of the business is changing with the change of time. There was a time when business was just confined to few hands, and only that players were dominating the business. But right now the startups had come up, the new generations had come up, the first generation entrepreneurs are coming, and the small and medium scale enterprises are there. So with the help of this e-commerce, they are also doing a lot of these transactions and trade and commerce. So when you talk about business process and enterprise applications, we have very deeply talked about enterprise resource planning. We have deeply talked about MIS, or decision support system, or transaction processing system. So what we have observed that this enterprise application is very important aspect, because how the business is going to process, and what are the the parameters which one has to take while executing a business. I think that is where this enterprise application is very important, because enterprise application is a tailor-made customized application which is dedicatedly designed for the particular company. And it's immaterial that what could be the size of the company. If the company size is of 5,000 employees or 50,000 employees, I think the application is going to manage the things in a more systematic manner. So then finally we have talked about the GDPR policy, that is General Data Protection Regulators, and we have seen that how the data is going to be regulated, how the big data is going to be calculated, and what are the the security measures, what are the protocols, or the ethical issues these companies are going to make, because there is a chances of data leakage, and when the data leaks, I think the testimonials or the details of the consumers are also going to be leaked, and from there the cyber threats, cyber crime, or hacking, or a lot of terminology, espionage is coming up. So we will gradually talk about all those things. So that was the reason talking about the GDPR policy, which is now mandatory for all the country, or all the the entity or the government to adhere to that. If they are not adhere to GDPR policy, they will be in trouble, and heavy penalty is going to be imposed on that. Anyway, so if you see this particular presentation, the today's presentation, it revolves around the IT security measures in business, and the past 8 to 9 lectures we have already covered, and this was talking on the various aspects which we have already talked about. And if we more go into the depth of this particular topic, I think we start with why systems are not secure, because security is a major issue right now, and if you are not going to safeguard your counterpart, your employees, your consumers' data, or I think the company would be in trouble. GDPR policy, General Data Protection Regulators, are more emphasized on this particular aspect, and if the organization are not adhere to that, if they are not taking this data security features seriously, I think they would be in big trouble, or maybe they could be out from the picture also. So it's not like that the small companies are penalized for it. The big companies who are acquainted with the technological aspects, who are acquainted with the security issues, they are also either intentionally or unintentionally doing this kind of mistakes. But end of the day, this is going to give roof to the hackers or to the cyber hacking persons to just affect the security part. So we will definitely talk about all those things. So then we have cyber security, and what are the principles of cyber security. And when you're talking about theft is also a different kind of, there are physical theft, there are online theft. But the biggest challenge which is coming up in as far as the cyber security is concerned, that without knowing the person, the crime is going to occur, and they grab the money from the individual's account. So there are certain key security principles, that is identification, authentication, and authorization. We will definitely talk about that. And there are certain security actions which need to be taken care. What are the parameters by which you are going to regulate this cyber crimes and all, and principles to information security policy. So digitization, then there are certain codes, one-time password is there. We will definitely talk about all those things on one-to-one basis. So if you see the data, I think why we are emphasizing more on the cyber security, because the challenge is not in the present, as far as 2020 is concerned, the challenge is not to digitalize ourselves. Digitization is a routine matter right now. It's a phenomena which will go on always, and maybe in the coming years we will find out the more digitization is there. How much secure you are, once you are moving in a digitization mode, and how much secure your data is. So because the consumer's data, the employee data, or the sensitive data of the companies, the confidential data is all are on the cloud. So today scenario talks about the cloud computing, and when you talk about the cloud computing, it means that the servers are not in your control, but it is controlled by the third party, and it is on the web, on the cloud. So if the password leaks, or the data secrecy leaked, what will happen? There will be a trouble. And this is the complete data which talks about size of cyber security market, which gradually going up and up from 2017 to 2023, and you see that why this cyber security market is going up, because the whole world talks about how much secure you are, and that is the reason when we go to any particular portal and we start and we click it in the address bar of the Internet Explorer or the Web Explorer page, it's redirect to the particular portal, and there itself the prefix comes like HTTP and HTTPS. So if you talk about, and there is a difference between HTTP and HTTPS, that HTTPS talks about the secured website. So So this is the web application which is available on the Internet Explorers. But on the other hand, if you talk about the Google Play Store, where the Android through Android phones, if you are going to download any applications, if any applications have any severe issues, I think the Google Play Store used to block that. So this kind of model, what I mean to say, it talks about that how much the credibility the cybersecurity have, and what are the potentials of the cybersecurity in the coming years. You will find out. So this is malware statistics. If you see this particular graph, the pie chart, you will see that the Android phones have somewhat more chances of malware targets, because it's massively used by the new n number of users. And if you talk about the companies, it's not like that the big companies are affecting, the small business is also going to be affected. The graph shows that 58% as far as the malware statistics is concerned, it's going to be affected by these small businesses, and these malware attack victims are small businesses, and then you see how this way of as far as the email is concerned, through email, a lot of data breach is going on, and it's somewhere around 92.4% if you compare other ways. So the spams, the phishing, and other model is coming up. So we will talk about all those things. Prior to going into the depth of this, let's throw a light on what exactly the threat is. Like, threat is a very common phenomena which is there. It was a physical threat kind of, but when you talk about the computer security, a threat is a potential negative action or even facilitated by vulnerability that results in an unwanted impact to a computer system or application. So what happens when threat comes? Sometimes what is going on, that you get a message, and the moment you click on that particular message, it's redirect you to the third party portal. And when you redirect to the third party portal, I think that third party portal is not secure, and maybe it can extract the information which is on your mobile phone or on your gadgets. So from there the problem starts. So threat can either be a negative, it can be intentional or accidentally created. And hacking an individual cracker or criminal organization, this is an intentional event. Whereas when you talk about the negative event, example given, the possibility of a computer manufacturing malfunctioning, or the possibility of natural disaster, this could be earthquake or fire or tornado, is an accidental negative. And there are other circumstances which is like capability, action or event. So what I mean to say, that when you talk about the threat is this kind of, and when you are just narrowing ourselves to cyber threat, I think cyber threat starts with cyber espionage, where there are certain cyber spies which are just doing a lot of things, and there are different kind of ways which are coming up. Even people have not think of that what is going on. The device is going to be installed, the application software which is unintentionally or accidentally installed in a system, and it can on your camera, and from there it can start seeing what exactly you are doing. That if the device is on, so very easily it can get the movement of the rooms, the physical movement of the rooms, what is going on. So cyber crime, cyber terror, hacktivism, cracking, these are the examples of cyber threat. And methods are spam, like you get certain message on your email, because email is one of the basic mode as far as the cyber threat is concerned. So then identify theft, and phishing attacks are there, spyware is there, denial of service attacks, because sometimes what happens that you have login to the particular portal, say for banking transaction, you go to the bank website and you have started put the login, but you are not familiar that the login which you have done, it's not the real portal of that bank. The dummy portal had been created, and you have just put the password and other detail on that, and you have moved to a wrong platform. So they can save your data, they can log in, and on the other hand, what they are doing, they are hacking your device also. So where this one-time password or captcha code is coming up. So if you and very easily they can change the process and other models. So packet spoofing is there, then ransomware is there, and when you talk about security measures for protection, is access controls, communications, physical and environmental protections, system protections, continuity planning, incident reporting, and legal compliances. So This is one of the security measures which one has to do, like how you're going to protect your system. There are certain antiviruses, there are certain the protection tools which are available, so which can navigate you, which can guide you that how you can protect your systems, and if any unwanted the malwares or the attack comes, it's very easily stop that. So this is a type of cyber attacks which starts with the phishing, and which can be something like somebody had put certain information that that what we observed, that a lot of mails are coming, and these mails are very different in nature, where they say you have won the lottery ticket, or you can invest in this much and you get that much. So this is a kind of message which is coming up, and password attack is there. And AI powered attacks are coming up, artificial intelligence powered attacks are coming up, which is one step ahead to that. And what we have observed, that distributed denial of service attack, DDoS, is coming up. So what we have observed, that if you see, I think this particular pie chart, you will find out that malware percentage is 46. Social engineering, like from the social networking sites, they get the details, and then they float certain informations, and you come in that trap. The moment you come in that trap, you will be in trouble. Then insider data leakage or theft, mobile device theft is there. So if you are just visiting a site which is not secured in nature, and you have started browsing that particular website, and after a certain time you realize that the data which had been stored in your desktop or in your device is very easily accessed by them, which includes the data in the cookies. So one has to quite cautious while deleting the cookies or the history. There must be a culture which can navigate them, how frequent they are in deleting the histories, and what to keep in the history, what to not. That is somewhere the problem occurs. So where do cyber threats come from? Now the question is that how to know about, because the genesis behind the threat is that we have to see from where it had been originated. It's not like that the threats to control system can come from numerous sources. We know that it could be including hostile governments, terrorist group, disgruntled employees, or malicious intruders. Sometimes what happens, as a consumers we are quite cautious, or as a user we are quite cautious, and we are not we are very much particular as far as the password and other thing is concerned. But the particular website of the say the bank or the government is going to be hacked, or the terrorist group had hacked particular website. So what is happening, that in that case the data which you are going to put in that, it is also going to be affected. So this is something which is not in our control, but things which are in our control, if we take care about that, I think from our end the problem is not going to be initiated. To protect against these threats, it is necessary to create a secure cyber barrier around the industrial control system. This is something which is very important, because this talks about the IT security as a whole and cyber security in particular. And then in cyber security we have system security, we have network security. If you see this particular image, you will find out that the bigger circle talks about information security, which is a complete background of the security, which starts with management of information security, that is people, legal, ethics, professional issues, risk management. And if you talk about the cyber security, it could be backdoors, denials of services, spoofing, tampering, and phishing, and clickjacking. These are the model which is there. So this is a part of information security. I think when you are going to make our server secure, or make our hardware secure, or make our environment secure, the virtual environment or physical environment, so we have to see that how much information security is we are following, IT security we are following, and then system security is there. System security talks about that the firewalls which we have used, and how we are going to fight with the intruders like viruses and worms, which is a routine matter which comes up. So if the firewall is there, if the model is there, we can do that. Now the network security talks about authentication, application, electronic mail security, internet protocol, and web security. So network security is quite important, because today everything is networked. Either it could be virtually interlinked or physically interlinked. When you talk about the virtual link, you will take a help of the cloud computing or the blockchain technology which is coming up, which can talk about the use of machine learning or artificial intelligence. But on the other hand, what we observe that As far as the physical appearance is concerned, there also to control and regulate the hardware, the how you are going to strengthen your intranet, because internet is one thing and intranet is other thing. So what I mean to say, when you're talking about intranet, you are talking about how much you are taking about your inside internet. So if one organization is there and that organization is equipped with say thousands of employees, so there must be one intranet which is dedicatedly talking about the usage of data or usage of interaction of data within that premise. If you cross that premise, the particular application won't works. So this is the model, like the in-house development of software which is accessed by the bona fide employees of that particular organization. So on the other hand, this is the model which is applied over there also. So if you talk about cybersecurity framework, starts with identifying the thing, then how to protect, then 3 detect, 4 respond, and 5 recover. So first we are going to diagnose what could be the problem and what kind of the risk is coming up, and then risk management strategy is going to be explored. Then access control model is there, data security is there, which emphasize purely on how we are going to protect ourselves. After protecting, then detection model is there, where we will see that how the things are, the problem which is there, the malware or the ransomware or the viruses which are there, how we can detect that, and then we can respond on that. So responding, like how to eradicate what are the damages which are there, and up to what extent we can rectify or response to that. Then finally, the recovery model is there. So this recovery planning is something very important, because there are certain things which can be recovered with the help of device, but there are certain damages occurred. So whatever the damages are occurred, how we are going to bridge those gap, that is a model of that. So if you talk about 3 pillars of information security, it starts with it talks about confidentiality, it talks about integrity, and it talks about availability. So confidentiality is like prevent sensitive information from reaching wrong people, while making sure that the right people can use it. For that, what we have to do, there are certain the passwords, or the combination of passwords in alphanumeric, or the use of various numbers, or the numbers which are different in nature can be used, so that the strong password can be developed. And when you talk about the integrity, it maintains the consistency, accuracy, and trustworthiness of information over its life cycle. So the information security starts with confidentiality, how much secure you are, and how you are going to keep the data, so that what data can be flowed for the common people, what can be stored for the common employees, and what can be stored for the organization. So then integrity, it should be moral duty of the employees or the consumers, or so that the integrity can be maintained. And then availability is more important, because if you are not going to make it available, I think how the usage is going to be enhanced. So ensure that the information is available when it is needed. So based on the availability, the information is going to be needed, and this could be the way by which the information security or the information is going to be secured. And now the question is that why cyber security is important? Because when we talk about the cyber security is important because it encompasses everything that pertains to protecting our sensitive data. Personally identifiable information should be kept at different places, and it's a moral duty of the portals to keep this information safe and protected. Health information, personal information, intellectual property data, because there are certain data which are copyrighted, which are trademarked. So how you are going to keep that data away from other places, government and industry information from theft and damage attempted. So this is a model, this is the way by which the cyber security can be done. And when you talk about the cyber security threats in 2020, I think the phishing attack is one of the routine things which is going on. Remote worker endpoint security, then cloud jacking is there. IoT device had come up, because Internet of Things is a new model which had come up, and the whole world is right now talking about the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is not Internet of Things, but Internet for everything. And when you're talking about Internet for everything, I think a lot of things are penetrated, and the footfall is very high. So So there must be certain device which can regulate the data, or the floating data which is available on the web. So the moment anybody goes on the particular portal, I think the device which you are using can navigate that this website or this particular application is not safe for your system. So this kind of message had been developed. So by that you are going to secure or protect them from this aspect. So sophisticated and targeted ransom attacks, deep fakes, mobile malware, 5G to withdraw that particular money. Or so one has to establish a very strong password. It have a combination of what we can say alphanumeric characters, and these characters have acute with at the rate, dollar, or the different language, as well as some numbers are there, caps lock and other things. That so combination could be very high. And the password should there are certain ways by which the password can be there. Anything which are related with your date of birth, or the routine things which you are using, one should ignore all those things. Set up a firewall, and firewall is very important, because if you have created a firewall, or the antivirus is there, right now the application is, if you talk about the operating system, majority of operating system is equipped with the antivirus or the defenders. If you talk about the Windows, Microsoft have come up with the complementary antivirus tool, which is called the Microsoft Defender. So Defender is right now working as a firewall and try to protect the system from the unwanted threat. So think of antivirus protections. Updating is important. You have to update your systems in a very frequent manner. You have to see and delete the cookies in a very frequent way, or history should also be deleted, and unsecured unsecured the websites which are there, one has to be cautious while opening it, and scheduled backup is very important. There must be a modus operandi or pedagogy to take a backups. If you are working in a cloud, I think somewhere you have to create a backup of in a brick and mortar mode also, as well as in cloud also. There are certain parameters by which you can create the backups. So this could be a routine matter, because anytime the data can disturb or interrupt, then you would be in trouble. So monitor steadily. And digitization, if you talk about the digitization, I think digitization is a term which is used to convert paper-based data information to electronic way of saying. So if you see, the whole world is talking about the digitization right now. The government of India had come up with the project called Digital India, which purely talks about how you're going to move from brick and mortar or the paper mode to paperless mode. So this digitization is improvement of the product, automation of the process, and simplification of the communication. So intention is very clear that we are going to save the environment, we are going to serve the society by and large in a more communicative manner, and whatever the product is there is going to be enhanced, because more you are digitized, more you are having a footfall or penetration, very easily you can link with the larger group. So if you are linking yourself with the larger group, I think you get more way of interaction. So key benefits of digitization is eliminate transcription errors, no physical limits of storage because your data is on the cloud, and it can be accessed on a real-time manner, and majority of people, or thousands of people or lakhs of people can work on a particular application or the particular page at one time. Say there are certain e-commerce portals, so what we observe that same time millions or billions of people are opening that particular domain. So but there is no chances of error, or the syntax error, or there is no possibility that the website performance can be deteriorated, because they are equipped with the search engine optimization and web analytics, and certain tools is there. So this kind of model is there which can integrate business system, improve accessibility to information, increase safety of any critical data, integrated online resource sharing. That is something which is there, because whatever the resource which is available online, that need to be shared by thousands of people. It's not like that one can work at one time, other can one afterwards. So now the model had been changed. This blockchain technology, if you are talking about, it's give more emphasis that the people can work on a real-time basis at that particular juncture at the same time. So if there could be one application, I think millions and billions of people are working on that particular application at that same time, and they can amend it, they can rectify it, they can change it, and others can also view it what the preceding users had done it. So many users can access a digital file at the same time. Now the CAPTCHA code is there. CAPTCHA code is a verification process that requires users to enter a predetermined code, and CAPTCHA stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and human apart. And CAPTCHA works by providing a question that is simple for a human to answer but difficult for a bot to answer. Bot means robot to answer, because robots is not going to do that, because the text is written in such a manner like the image of any image will come which says that how many traffic lights are there in this particular images. Now you have to see all the images one by one, and then you have to write 4, 5, 10 or 7. So this is the way by which the CAPTCHA code works, and this is a layer of security which provides and assure that the human is basically interacting. So there is no robot which is doing that. Now the digital signature had come up, which is more authentic in nature, and it's like handwritten signatures and are unique to each signer. Digital signature solution provides such as DocuSign follow a specific protocol called PKI. PKI requires the provider to use a mathematical algorithm to generate two long numbers called keys. One key is public and one key is private. So if you see this particular image, how the things are going to work, that CA verifies, the certificate authority verifies the company server before issuing an SSL or TLS certificates, and the client, the public key is used to encrypt data, and once the data encrypt, you can decrypt it, you can use it as per your convenience. The private key is used to decrypt the data. So one-time password is another way. In India, we are using 2 layers of security, whereas in Western world still they are adhered to the 1 layer of security. If you talk about 2 layers of security, after net banking, they ask for the password. One is the CVV number, or the number which is given at the back of the plastic money or credit card. And once you put that CVV number, you can redirect to the third-party portal, which is the banking portal. So that banking portal asks for the one-time password, which is again the second layer of security. If you provide the right information, the amount can be debited. So the e-commerce portal or the vendors are not storing your card information, but they are redirecting it to the banker's portal. So this is another way by which the bank portal is quite strong, and as far as the vendor, and there is no chances of leak, because so this is the way by which a one-time password, also known as one-time PIN or dynamic password, is a password that is valid for only one login sessions or transactions on a computer, and had certain time frame also, that it can be used for certain time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes or 5 minutes it will be expired and you have to put it. There was a time when OTP was having a combination of 4 digits, but right now it's having alphanumeric as well as numeric digits also. So it's quite authentic now and good also. So rather than always depend on the password, one is always depend on the OTP, and OTP is a quite secure format when we compare with other model. So rate of cyber security attacks on small business. The 2017 Phenomenal Report on SMB reported 61% of business experienced a cyber attack in fiscal year 2017. And if you talk about this 54% of business experienced a data breach. These are the attacks which are coming up, and this is a routine matter. I think we can't rush away. We can't rush as far as or escape ourselves from the threat. Threat is a routine matter which can go on. How we can update ourselves, how we can away ourselves from this threat, that is more important. So the intention behind the cyber security to make yourself secure, and security is a thing which is there from the very beginning. So it's not like that you should have, because we have a houses and when we go outside we lock it from outside. There are certain almirahs which we have in our homes, which we lock it or use the key and other ways. So here also this cyber security is like a key or the lock which you have to keep always, and this is the only way by which you are going to do that. The model is going to change, and as far as the threat scenario is concerned, the threat is going to be changed with the change of time, or cyber threats is going to be affect with different aspects. But how you're going to secure yourself with the latest trend, with the new concept, with the new way, that is more important. I think as far as this particular course is concerned, it talks about cyber computer application business, and In business, there is a great use of cyber security because the involvement of the consumer is concerned, and their plastic money, their wallets are concerned, their money is involved, their information is involved, their real time data is involved, that at what time they are doing shopping, at what time they are doing a lot of things. So and if that data is going to be leaked, I think, and it could be sold to the other party or to the business rivals, this is going to sabotage the business of the players. So what they used to do in their cyber security is going to play a very important role, and cyber attacks and other things are a routine matter, but how you're going to protect yourself, how you're going to safeguard yourself, that is more important. So we will definitely talk related to more this kind of phenomena as far as this particular course is concerned, because this is a course for a grassroots entrepreneurs or the graduates or the commerce graduates who are just talking about the computer application or want to know more about the computers and its applications. And when we are going to talk about the application, we have talked about all the things in a very holistic manner, and cyber threat, cyber security, and these are the important terms which are coming up with the change of time is going to play a very important role. I think by that I am winding up my session, and we will have some more thought-provoking sessions in the coming days, which will definitely link with our syllabi, what we are talking about, BCOS 183 cyber computer application in business. Thank you very much.